Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much for joining me today as I start my video journal regarding my journey towards becoming a commercial airline pilot. The whole point of these videos is to provide anyone who is curious about these types of programs and just give them a look inside what it is I'll be doing on a day-to-day basis to pursue my goal of getting there. And so yeah, a little bit about me. I've wanted to fly planes for a really long time, but just been caught up with various things, working in the coffee industry currently, but I finally got to a good point in my life where I'm ready to make a switch, and this is what I've decided to invest my time into for right now. But enough about that. I wanted to share with you some information that I have found, a program that I'm all signed up for, and then share with you, like I said, the outline of what that's all about, and then some of my concerns going into it, as this is my first video and I haven't even started the program yet. So I'm going to do videos as I go along to update people what it's like to be in the trenches of me, of all people. Like, I have no experience, so if I can kind of get through this, it would be I feel like it would be a really good tool for those who are looking to get into it as well. See what it's like to have no knowledge in aviation, and become an airline pilot. So when I was looking up different programs and different options, I have a mentor of mine who owned his own charter business back in the day, and so I kind of picked his brain as far as what options should I take, what would he do if he was in my position, and there's just so many options. There's always military, there's just kind of doing it on your own time, as far as renting a plane when you can to get your hours and to just when you can study for the exam, and it just seems like in that scenario it's just gonna take forever. So what I've decided to do is I've found this company ATP that has locations all over the country. And I'm going to be enrolled in the Clearwater, Florida one, starting in January. It's a 9-month program from start to finish on all of your certifications and licenses, from private all the way to commercial. And then when you are done with the program, the idea is that you have a guaranteed job as a flight instructor to pursue the rest of your remaining magic 1,500 hours. The reason I say magic is because that's what the airlines are looking for as a minimum to get hired on. So that's the program I've chosen. It's called ATP. A lot of the concerns right now that I had, at least, and I would assume everybody else has, was cost. Right, the timeline, like what's it like? How hard is it going to be? For me, a concern is, I have tattoos. That's still a concern of mine, because you have to cover them up, and so I'll go over how I go around that for those of you who are tatted up as well. If you are curious about how I'm going to be doing that, I'm still figuring out a couple different ways. Experimenting with a couple different things, because the shirts that we're given are short sleeve shirts, and they don't want you to show your tattoos. I'd asked, and so within the program they like to go with most of the airlines policies, which is to make sure that you have them covered. So again, I'll do follow-up videos on all of that as well. So the costs. So the first thing is one of the main reasons I picked this program was because they have financing available, whereas a lot of the smaller airports, it's hard to get a loan. The loan is important because it, from start to finish, can cost up to, depending on which route you go, to get your commercial pilot's license can cost over $100,000. This program costs $76,000, and that's not including any of the testing fees, which runs to about $6,000. You can group that into the loan if you want. I've chosen not to. You can also group in your housing, depending on where you're at, roughly about $800 a month through that program. So if you do the math, it ends up being pretty close to that $100,000 if you don't have your housing or testing supplies all taken care of. So for me, I took out a loan for $75,000 around. They have a couple different options for those loans as well, so you can compare interest rates, which is really important. So that was the main reason I signed up, and they also have the guaranteed instructor job at the end, which is very important. They have those all over the country, so it'll be a great way for me to experience different parts of the country that I've never been to, while paying back my loan, because they also have a loan payback program when you work for them, and a lot of different opportunities for airlines to come in and interview their students because they're such a big school. They're one of the number one resources for these airlines to get new pilots from, because right now it's a really good time to become an airline pilot due to a lot of different factors that I don't want to get into on an introductory video. But for the most part, there's a forced retirement age in the airline industry of 65. A lot of these baby boomers that got into it are now approaching that age, so they're having to leave, or at least get out of the left seat, and leaves a ton of opportunities for people coming in, a lot more demand for us, people wanting to get in and become pilots. So there's bonuses available, and they're larger than any and it's been in a long time. So those will help offset the cost of getting into that. There's no set in stone bonus structure because it's by the airline, but it helps make that $75,000 a lot easier to swallow. So that was important to me too, making it as cost effective as possible to get into a job that I'm going to enjoy, or at least I assume I'm going to enjoy. So yeah, like I said, those were my main concerns, and it seems like this program at least has resources for those concerns and gets you into the seat a lot quicker than most. I wasn't able to find anything that was going to get me all my certifications in 9 months outside of this. And once you're done with your 1,500 hours, so it takes about from zero to pilot job about 2 years is what they're saying. So I will be updating these videos as I go along the program to see exactly what my experience is, and mine may be different than yours, but I just figure there's so many questions that I had, and I was looking for resources like this. So I hope that it's helpful. I will be updating you guys along the way, and I hope that if you have any questions that that I can help answer, please feel free to comment, reach out to me. I more than likely won't know the answer, but I can at least have an idea of how to get that answer, or so yeah, we can kind of be in this together for everybody who is just curious about this, because I'm super excited. I'm all enrolled. I had to get my loan first, my FAA first class medical exam or medical certificate, which you just get from a exam from an FAA certified doctor. That costs about $130. Took no time at all. As long as you're in good health and have good eyesight, it shouldn't be an issue. And then what else have I done thus far? And then I had to take a intro flight, a training flight with the school to make sure that I was a good fit for the program. They were a good fit for me. I could ask any questions that I wanted, and it was super fun. I got to get up and get behind the controls for the very first time, so I definitely highly recommend it. Something I'll never forget, the very first time being up there. So it definitely is something, if you are looking to get into this kind of thing, I would recommend doing that first, as you never know until you start doing it. And the idea is that you'll get up there, you'll get immediately hooked, you'll enroll in the program with them, because that's what they do, right? So I'm excited. I've had nothing but good experiences with the company thus far, and they've been really good about getting back to me with any questions or concerns, really pushing me to, or not pushing me, but the following up with me, making sure I have all the things I need, as far as have a appointment scheduled for my FAA, first class, have a time picked out to start the program, make sure I'm getting all my materials. I have, so I got accepted into it yesterday. They send you out a big packet of, or a big box of goodies, as far as study materials and your shirt and all that fun stuff. So I should get that in the next couple days. So I'll do a big unboxing of all of that when I get it. So you guys can just be along this journey with me. Again, I'm super stoked to have you guys here with me. And by you guys, just I want to be able to document this and make this as inclusive as I can, so that more people can benefit from this than just me. So again, if you have any questions, reach out to me. I'll try and get back to every single person who has a question, and we'll get it all sorted out and get everybody who can become a pilot to become a pilot with me, because it seems like it's going to be a super fun journey. So thanks again. I'll follow up with you guys next time. And so yeah, the next video should be an unboxing of all my materials. So, woohoo.